Hey there everyone, my name is CJLJRat, and this is my video on my favorite level that I've made in my level design class. Now this is my level, the first level that I made for Battleblock Theatre. It's called A Day in Hell. It's part of the 3 Days in Hell playlist. And what I really liked about this level, what made it stand out for me the most against the other levels that I've made, is that it was the one where I really fell into the level design, the what I felt was the level designer mindset the most. The moment I just sat down and I booted up the editor and looked at all the tools, it wasn't difficult for me to really just get the gears turning in my head and think what can synergize with what meshes well with what can I apply to really push the player. Because the main theme, the starting point that I pushed off of when I made this level was skill and challenge. I wanted a level where the player, it would be difficult and it would be tough, and if the player died, they wouldn't go fuck. I hate this level. They would, they'd grit their teeth. They'd get a little frustrated, but ultimately they would understand that that's on them. Because the one thing I hate is a level that feels like, excuse my language, that feels like bullshit. And you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've played a good amount of games. There are some times where level design is fair and it makes sense, and it really comes down to the player either applying certain mechanics correctly or just having proper skill through time and practice, and there are levels that are just, let's just throw a bunch of enemies in one area and overwhelm the player, and it's going to be frustrating, or let's make this pit that's really big and it's hard to jump over, and that's a challenge. And so I definitely wanted to avoid that, and I really feel like I achieved that at this level, and I was really happy when in the feedback I got, people agreed with me on that. So I'm going to do a run through the level right now while I talk about what's going on. Now, warning, I'm not good at playing and talking at the same time, so while I can normally do this without dying once, I don't think I could do that when I'm talking about the level. So let's start off. The beginning is this little flight section here. You get the wings, which basically essentially get multiple jumps in the air. And what you have here is a lava pit, laser, spikes, and so the point of this section is the player is supposed to manage their height. As well as timing. The point of the laser is it's supposed to keep the player fast and on their toes. They don't just, spend a minute just floating around down there trying to figure out, oh, can I keep myself steady? It's just go, 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 but keep yourself, it's speed and it's focus. So I'll just wait for this to go. Whoop. And as they're going, you get a little sneak peek of what's ahead. You can see those boomerang cats and ice blocks. There we go. And I fell through. But since I'm at the beginning, I'll take this opportunity to say something as well. So at the beginning of the level, the player sees, they need the 3 gems to complete the level. In this case, because of the way the level editor works, gems are replaced with strawberries. But they aren't strawberries on the exit thing, which is weird. But yeah, so another thing the player has shown is that, yes, you have to go through this section of the level, you gotta go through the level, get all the strawberries, and so it gives the player an idea of the direction that they need to be going in if they want to progress through the level and complete it. So now I'm gonna go be a bit quieter. I'm gonna try and beat this section. And there we go. I'm acting like I finished it, but okay, there we go. I placed checkpoints at each strawberry because like I said, I want this to be challenging. I don't want this to be frustrating. Yeah, I could easily have not put a checkpoint and just said, oh, it's a challenge because you got to do without dying. But then it's like, I'm not wrong, but levels like that are just, they're frustrating in their challenge, I'd say. Now, picked up the next strawberry, get the checkpoint. Now, make it through. This section, I actually don't want to show off what the boomerangs do visually, but what the boomerangs are supposed to do is when they hit you, you lose your wings and you get stunned. When you're stunned, you can't jump, you can only move left and right. And so this is less so about hurting the player or, you know, forcing them to die. And again, like I said, if they die, it's their fault. So the idea is, you know, you're moving, you're jumping over these cats, you get hit by a boomerang. If you react quick enough and stop what you're doing and stay where you are, you're safe. If you keep going and try and jump, you're going to fall on the spikes, you're going to die, and in the end, that's on you. And then the laser up top is just to, because obviously from the previous section, you got to keep the wings. And so, to stop players from just flying over everything, the laser's at the top to keep them in check. But of course, they get wings when they get the strawberry because they actually need them to go up here, towards the next section. Now, there's a little sneaky secret over here, although I feel like it's kind of made obvious by the fact that there's 2 extra blocks. So, I mean, if you miss it, I'd be surprised, but I will show it off. It's this little side area over here, and you just get a little secret pie. And then you just got to make your way back down through the cloudy staircase, and boop. You're back on track for the level. Now, the reason that I actually have that zigzaggy cloudy staircase is actually for the latter 2 versions of this level, because like I said, this is part of a playlist. This is a day in hell, and the next 2, I honestly can't remember what they're called, but the point of them is that they're the same level, but you're on a timer, and with each one, it's on a shorter and shorter timer. So the idea is that if you want to 100% the level, you gotta be quick, and you know, make your way, get that secret, run left and right, and so on. Now for this next section, I wanted to make it's super clear that, you know, you gotta go down first, you can't go to the right. So I have this section walled off, a sign pointing down, and this is Sawblade Hell. Now as daunting as this section may look, one, you know, if you've kept your wings, then you're fine. I've used up the wings, but this is probably a good opportunity to show that this section isn't actually as daunting as it looks. It's all about timing, and I just died. It's all about timing, so we're gonna ignore that I totally messed that up. Why can't I do this while talking? We're gonna ignore that I've messed it up twice now. And I'm gonna show you how easy this area is, because all it is timing. I timed. There we go. Timing. Timing. And then you can set off those things, which drops a rock, which opens the pathway to the next area. Now, once again, timing. Although, if you're a clever gamer, you can actually, what you can actually do instead of jumping your way back is just kill yourself, and there you go, back at the checkpoint, and the door's open. Now, this last section, I know what I said at the beginning of the video about just throwing a bunch of enemies and overwhelming the player. And while in most cases that can be frustrating, I think in a game like Battleblock Theater, depending on how you set it up, it is something that could be a challenge of skill. In this case, it is not a matter of, because the enemies I used are the missile robots, and I guess lasers are enemies, but they're more hazards, as well as the cannons. Rather than them being enemies that will target the player and, you know, follow them and make it so that you don't get any room for breathing, these are enemies that fire projectiles. And so the real focus of this section isn't so much avoiding the enemies, it's just avoiding the projectiles. You can touch the enemies, you won't die, they're not all going to come at you at the same time. As you can see, like, only one of them really is trying to shoot me right now. It's only when I get closer that they're all going to start shooting. So I feel like this area is pretty well balanced. And then it's just another matter of timing with the lasers. And if you're crafty enough, you can actually get the missiles from the missile robots to hit themselves, and over there, they power down for a bit, so that kind of gives you a moment of reprieve. And then this is just the area of the last section. We get to the checkpoint, and now we're at the final section, which I find kind of fun. It made it a little easier, just, you know, a nice cool down to end the level. But it is a goopy wall fall. So you slide down, you jump off, and this is supposed to make use of the mechanics of the goop wall, wherein if you're sliding down one and you jump while sliding down, you actually jump farther. And that's how they're supposed to get over those pits. Now, you can technically do this. Hold on. Let me kill myself. You can do this without using the sliding wall mechanic. If you let go of the wall and then do it, it technically works. It's just it's possible to do it while sliding on the wall, and you actually go farther. Yeah, that was my level. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are interested in trying it out, the Steam workshop link will be in the description. This has been Steel Art, and I will catch you all next time.